Hello everyone. First of all, thank you for being here. I know that after 3 days of talks, meetups, and some parties for sure, is kind of a challenge to be here today, so thank you for the effort. My name is Eduardo, and I'm the project lead of Download and one of his fathers. And today I would like to untie the knot of decentralization from the point of view of DAppNode. For that, I'm going to start with a brief presentation of the project. Later, we are going to talk about the problem that we solved this year, the problem that we are still working on it, and later we are give a glimpse of the future of development and how we expect to solve these problems. So maybe some of you have already know about DAppNode, and for us to achieve so much impact in just 1 year is something amazing. But I would like to try to explain a little the project for those who still don't know about DAppNode. So what is DAppNode? DAppNode is an open source platform, an open source software that can be installed on any kind of hardware to create a decentralized hardware layer that allows anyone to run their own dApps and nodes, creating an infrastructure for projects and a way to make easy for users to install new applications. So mainly the idea of DAppNode is to try to resolve the problem of centralization. When we use a centralized platform to access to decentralized services, we are forgetting one of the biggest purpose of our work. So if we remove that these centralized services, we can create a censorship-resist network that help us to create a network in which the users have the power to maintain that network, and no one can control that network. So we are, our intention is to fill this gap between the amazing tools that we are creating right now, these decentralized tools that help us a lot, and face the problem that we are access to them in a centralized way. So to sum up all the things, with DAppNode, we want people to be able to install application just with a few clicks, be able to share this connection with family and friends, and creating a kind of trusted circle around that, making possible to get the mass adoption, since one operator can help all his friends to access to these new technologies, and at the same time have a platform for projects that are starting to use new kind of services like relayers or validators, have a kind of marketplace for these kind of projects. So let's start to talk about the problems that we faced this year. Last year, DAppNode, it was just a proof of concept. We start to talk about that here in Paris. But after a year, we resolved some of the problems, and we are very proud to present that here in Paris 1 year later. So the first problem that we solve from the point of view of centralization is create kind of decentralized package manager. So mainly our intention is to create a core system in which you have all the tools that you need to have a decentralized box, like, for example, a full node of Ethereum, an IPFS node, a VPN connection, all the stuff. But at that moment, we want to build something bigger, something powerful. And we realized for creating that kind of system, we need to create a method to install new packages that take advantage of this core system. So our challenge was to use decentralized services to create this package manager, and for that we use the Aragon PM. Mainly, the idea is to use IPFS to distribute our packages that at the end are Docker image, and connect these images with the manifest to the Aragon repo, and with this way have a decentralized way to install application in a secure way. So if you are a user, you can install an application just by click one time, but the thing that happened in the background is that the DAppNode query the smart contract from the repo, get the last version and the hash that represents that version. In that hash, we have the manifest that have all the information that we need to install that package later, and the IPFS hash of the Docker image that is going to be installed on the DAppNode. So with this system, we achieve a full decentralized installation package manager, and we have an SDK that allows you to make all this process to develop new application for this system in an easy way. And it's amazing that some projects like ISEC or other ones are starting to use our SDK to create these decentralized applications. Well, other of our problems that we want to resolve is how to browse decentralized websites. So by design, our current situation is that we need to use DNS, that at the end is a centralized way to get information. So mainly this is a good schema of our current situation. When you need to go to a website, you need to query to a DNS, get the IP of the provider, and after that, get the content from that provider. So in this situation, we have two centralized points. It's the DNS and it's the service provider. So the way to solve this problem is using the new standard, the 1577, and we create a package that we call it forward, and mainly the idea is when a user want to access to .eth domain, since we have a full node of Ethereum running on the DAppNode, we can get the IPFS hash of that domain and go to the IPFS node that is running like core packages and provide that information to the final user. So from the point of view of regular users, it's like access to a regular website, but with this situation, you are not using any kind of centralized provider. But again, we have another problem with DNS. The thing is, the DAppNode is intended to be running on the house of the people, and seeing a lot of people have dynamic IPs, it's hard to find a way to provide IP when your ISP change that IP. At that moment, we cannot solve that problem, but we try to create a kind of workaround or patch for this year. We create a dynamic DNS that gives you a domain when you start a DAppNode at your home. And for that, we create an identity that allow us to send messages with the new updates of the IP. So when you are outside your home, you can connect always using the same DNS, the same domain. So right now, from the point of view of centralization, this DNS problem, this dynamic DNS, is one of our biggest challenges. And we started to figure out how we can resolve this problem in a decentralized manner. So we expect to develop this in the coming months, and mainly our intention is to find a way to discover the IP of a DAppNode using live P2P libraries or Swarm or other tools that help us to discover the IP in a decentralized manner. So mainly the idea is create an identity. It could be an ident-free identity or something like that for the DAppNode, and another one for the client. And the DAppNode, when it started by default, publics its identity in a topic. So every time that user wants to connect to that DAppNode, he only needs to try to find that channel and publish that he's searching for its DAppNode. or her DApp node. So when the connection happens, the thing that we can do is just to sync the IP of the node with the private key of the DApp node, allowing to the client be sure that he's the DApp node that he's trying to find. And when the connection happens, the cool thing is that you can start to sharing information in a private way using the private key of both sides, and I don't know, maybe exchange some VPN information or, well, whatever. The thing is, right now we are moving to OpenVPN, but with this solution, maybe we need to move to WireGuard, since it's a solution that allows you to use public key, and maybe it's more convenient than our current one. But the potential of this solution is huge, and we can start to think bigger and create a solution like federation of DApp nodes. Since we have a channel with the identity of the DApp node, we can start to connect these DApp nodes between them using that channel. And that allows us to federate our DApp node with the DApp node of our friends, and if something happened to my DApp node, I can connect to the DApp node of my friend, because since we are federated, we can share the public key of our VPN. And you can start to think in other approach, like, I don't know, maybe when you federate a DApp node, can automatically start to pin the files of your friend, or sharing other kind of information. Maybe you can start to have some metrics about the connection and create some kind of incentivization on top of this federation model. So we expect to try to develop this system in the coming months. We don't know yet if it's going to be hard. We are sure that it's going to be, but we want to explore this situation, this new world, because the possibilities are huge, and a lot of projects can take benefit of that. Finally, I would like to have to give you some number, since I take the project from EG, from Infura, the dev P2P scrapper that scan the network, and we made some optimization, and we get some numbers of the current situation of the network. So the thing that we saw is from the total nodes that we found in 3 days, only 13% of that are synchronized with the last block. And that number are, well, scaring me a little. The other thing is the 70% of that node are in a VPS. So the thing that can happen if Amazon and DigitalOcean stop to provide his service, we lost more than the half of the network right now. So after seeing this number, we believe that DApp node is even more needed, not just because of decentralization, it's because it's important to the health of the network. So yeah, we need to decentralize all the layers, including the infrastructure, to create a powerful network. So doesn't matter if you build it, you install it, or you buy it, but we need that you put a DApp node in your home, because we need a stronger network. So help us to become a node. You can install it. DApp node is an open source software. You can buy your hardware by yourself, install it in your home, and start to running. Or recently, we just announced that we are going to buy, we are going to sell DApp nodes with physical DApp node with the software pre-installed. At the end, we want to provide a convenient solution for people that prefer not to waste time installing. But for us, doesn't matter. We only want to create this decentralized hardware layer. And all this work happened thanks to the support of the Ethereum Foundation, the Aragon NetScan, and the Ethereum Community Fund and Giveth. And well, join to our community. We expect to create something more than a community. We expect to create a kind of movement. So help us to decentralize the world. So thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know if I have time. It's fine? Okay.